Morning. The dogs are being crazy, always at my lap, trying to guard me away from Big Boy. Go start your step, boy. See what the sugar level is. See if you're telling me the truth or you just being ornery against the little Big Boy. They got into it last night. Oh, well. Let's see here. $1.57. You're right, Ori. Look. Look. Let me see. We're going to talk about intuition, foresight. Now, what was I doing? Oh, taking my medicine. Yeah, we're going to talk about foresight, intuition. Clairvoyance, whatever you want to call it. I had a dream about 3 days ago about Miss Spaulding that lives down the road from me. Well, I heard the ambulance yesterday evening, and they've whipped up in her yard, and ambulance, you could hear it coming in, and they left without the siren on, and she was in the back. I haven't talked to her caregiver yet, but anyway, don't look good. I'd rather have them leave with the siren just blasting than it off. Especially if they got somebody in the back. That means they're not that bad off. Let's hope that way, or they're dead. So, I've lived here long enough. I've watched the Farleys die that lived next door. Both of them. Husband and wife. The Gosses lived over there. Both of them died. The Spauldings, I watched a bunch of them die. Now I've watched the mother and dad, and I guess now the daughter, and the Etheridges, the Atheys, and I was damn many, about 50 of them, I can't remember. I guess I've outlived them all, most of them. All of them. The doctor and his wife, the Levels, both of them, Bonnie and Orville brother, and their son, he died. He took over and died. I guess I'm just living on borrowed time. I overslept this morning. It's already 7:30. I had a little soreness the next day after the shot. Now you can't even tell. Well, I got a little knot. It's still a little bit sore right there when they shot me. You have to touch it to find out, though. So there you go. Other than that, the reason I overslept today wasn't because of the shot or anything, because I stayed up and watched 2 movies. I forget what the hell the first one was about. I like science fiction. One was about these things that came to Earth, and these young people were in Russia. And they got out there on a nuclear sub. They was fighting back. These aliens came to our planet to rape it. In other words, take all the minerals, the zinc, copper, lead, gold. In other words, take all the minerals off of it. which didn't make no damn sense, because there's more minerals out there in space than there is on this little tiny ass planet. We get all of our minerals mainly from when the solar system was formed. Now, water is another thing, though. I watched a movie where they came to Earth to steal all the water. Now, that made more sense. But they have planets out there that's nothing but water. Europa, one of the moons of Saturn. They've got planets solid ice. Water is actually abundant out there in space. It's where we got all of ours out of the meteorites, comets. Their icy ball is full of water. But intuition, foresight, clairvoyant. If I dream about you, buddy, it ain't gonna take long. If we're gonna be in the hospital or dead. Something told me the other day to stop by and see the Spaldings. And I said, oh, okay, I'll give a call later, and I never did. Well, the next day, she was, emergency ambulance came and got her. Is she still alive? Good Lord willing. There you go. I had a dream last night about me working in the lab. About prejudice, basically. I tried to hire a black guy once, years and years ago. He went through lab school, went through college, he'd got his degree. They wouldn't let me hire that man. No way in hell they'd let me hire that man. I thought, bullshit. Because, I mean, hell, they wouldn't have to see him anyway. We was always in the basement, way in the back. Hell, they don't put the dead bodies and shit out there in the front. We're not the lab, we're not lobby material. Cutting up the loved ones ain't too damn spiffy when they get to see it. They wouldn't let me hire that guy. I thought that, but this is ranked. It's screwed up. And then after that, I got really irritated at him. I changed jobs. I went and tested water. Yeah, went to the water industry. The EPA, people changing the oil and throwing it off in the rivers. I've seen a bunch of that shit go on too. Are they crazy? Or pouring the damn motor oil down the damn water drains, side of the road to get that culvert where they got to pour the water goes down the street, but they have to come trace it all the way back to the neighborhood that they poured that damn water. Hell, we could check the house right in front of the house where the damn, or next, could be one of three houses or one of three houses across the street because you ain't gonna carry a damn pan of motor oil very damn far before you pour it down in the dam. Hell, I've seen some of them pour it in the street right in front of their house and they'd run down the side of the street till they hit the culvert and then go in it. Crazy ass people. In fact, parking lots need the stormwater runoff. They need to. I did that. Went to like Walmarts and Sears and all these big giant parking lots, and when it was storming and raining, and collect the water and see how much oil was in the water. And we'd find the shit out of them for not washing it and catching the oil. You see old leaking cars back in the day, they'd pull up there, hell, and had big old grease spot. Well, they're supposed to put a berm around that and wash it and suck it up and dispose of it. But they don't want to do that shit. It cost them about $100 a barrel back in the days. That was probably $1,000 a barrel now to dispose of it. Yeah, but intuition. And I'm sure people, they say some people are born, a lot of women more than men, but there is men too. Ain't gonna be one-sided, be prejudiced against men or women. But then they say young kids are, they have foresight because of their brain development. Like deja vu. Yeah, that's genetic memory. I don't know what that is. The to dream something or have a vision or to have premonition that something's going to happen, that's a different subject altogether. Yes, I believe in that. Hell, I can prove that one. Hell, every time I dream about somebody that dead, or I should go see them, well, that's, if I don't get my ass up and go see them, I don't get a chance to. Like my brother, I dreamed that I need to go check on him, and I did. Checked on him. He was sick with the COVID. Call it a coincidence if you want to. And the Spalding woman, hell, I should stop by there. I'm in my little golf cart. I drive the neighborhood sometimes. And I did, and the next day the ambulance picking her up. There you go, that's life on the half shell. I need to call her. She's in Canada, or at least hope she's doing well. That's a channel you need to check out. She's quite a person. I met so many good people on YouTube that I met a couple, but the majority, 99.9% are good people. It's like society out there. You don't get that many bad people. It's just once in a great while you get somebody that, Now, jealousy, everybody's jealous. I don't know what the hell they're jealous about. Like, I had this one kid, he about 25. I always used to give him money because he's always whining. But anyway, he said this statement, I'll never forget it. Well, you got it made. And I thought to myself, well, I'm old, crippled up, worked all my life. Yeah, I planned for my old age. I didn't plan on just, sitting on a street corner rattling a tin can wanting money. But I thought to myself, as young as you are, and your marijuana addiction don't get you energy to get out and do anything. Yeah, I got it made, if you want to call getting old and crippled up and got it made, yeah. Well, I'm not going to talk long, but think about it. Just think about the things that you've thought of and that came to pass. Or it was a premonition that something was telling you something was going on. There you go. That's what I'm getting at. Boy's at my lap now. He's just happy as hell. Big boy's as close as he can get to me without being in my lap too. Because both of them don't do good to each other. I bought a book at the bookstore the other day. It's Oklahoma. It tells you about what's going on in each county or what's the sights to see in each county. I guess I went to the travel deal and got one of them, but this was actually a book. Tells you what happened before it became statehood, after it became statehood, blah, blah, blah. I also got a book that I bought a long time ago of every lake and reservoir in Oklahoma, and how deep it was, what kind of fish is in it, and everything else. That book's in and the ambulance. In my RV. That way when I can whip it, it gives you a map to get to it. A lot of them now, these reservoirs that the Corps of Engineers put in on private property, they still got to let you in there. You go up to the farmer's house and say, hey, Corps of Engineers has built this lake for you. I want to camp there. And they'll say, yeah, they can't stop you. Yeah, I think you're going to stay 3 days, but still, hell, if you want to fish it, there you go. Like I said, I want to stay a couple of days, see how the fishing is. I'll fish all day long, and then catch one good big fish, and then I'm gonna have for supper, and I'll let the rest of them go. Ain't no sense wasting. Oh. Well, it's cloudy today. You can tell. I got 3 lights on in this. Just because I got them lights on over there. Little guy's up there with his mama. He's trying to steal a blanket. Ain't gonna do no good, big boy's laying on it. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Think about one another. Think about what you dreamed, what you thought, what intuition you had. Talk to you later.